Scandal back to the well. This is looking bleaker and bleaker by the second. Empire now down almost 20,000 gold and experience. Not even 30 minutes into the game.
10
farm Lycan.
10, 0, and 14 on this Ember Spirit. So strong performance. And of the entire team. Again, LGD, they just play very, very coherent with each other.
And
always
like
going
you said,
together.
they have 2 Ember players. He's not even the one who always plays it.
Both of them are showing off that they can play quite well.
Everyone's talked about the MMR of MVP, but LGD has incredibly high MMR players in their own right.
That is true. That is true. Grinders.
They've put in the work here, LGD. Teams were criticized at the Shanghai Major for maybe not preparing enough, but this LGD team has come to play Empire. They gotta find a good fight. A Scandal leaping in, gets off the coil, aggressive on the backside, pops the BKB as the Ember Spirit cleaned up. There's a nice Supernova combo here potentially coming as they work with the Chronosphere to bring them down. It is gonna end up hitting the deck, but aggressive is just so damn tanky. Where's he going? Does he run? Does he fight? The orb comes through.
So fast.
Poshka dropping low there to the Necro Bull. Can they finish him off? Shall wait. Hunting, trying to finish off Scandal 2. Seth gonna glimmer. They are gonna get the kill. It's 4. Beastmaster dead. A full life. LGD wiping the floor with Empire.
They get every single player. Man. Empire just trying desperately to do anything to come back into this, of course.
And the more
elimination is waiting, and
the tighter they try to hold on, the more it slips through their fingers.
yeah, this is just LGD's game. You can't take it away from them. They're too strong at this point. Oh, Sep gonna die to the Ricky.
All right, well, Kinar gets that, but LGD, they'll get their vengeance here. Perhaps Tricks of the Trade does come out, and he has the defusal, but it's only for now. It's a full team wipe again.
Yep.
5 heroes on the sidelines. Empire.
They put him back in the grave. They're like, no, stay there.
And Riki buys Tranquil Boots at 31 minutes.
That's a good pickup. Gonna help him with the
That's
HP regen.
surely the game changer.
Oh yes, it's coming in.
It feels like they're at death's door.
And I really feel that LGD they play such a solid early game, but at the same time, you don't have anything to worry about with the way Empire laned this and the way they drafted this. There's just no threat of any late game or mid game. It's just a laning stage.
It's one thing to make a drafting adjustment, but they made such a radical adjustment that just felt like they were also missing pieces for the overall game plan.
Yeah.
Didn't have a carry, didn't dominate the lanes, didn't really shut down the Bat Rider. Ember was farming well. I mean, part of that maybe just comes down to individual skill, as you point out with maybe always doing well in his lane. Last game we saw him in a 2v1 as a Dragon Knight, and he still basically breaks even on CS.
And they also don't have the best stuff for Avoid in this game. They only have the Sun Ray really to shoot into the Chronosphere.
They're just buying whatever the hell they can. It's going to be an Aether Lens for the Phoenix. It'll be a medallion for the Beastmaster, but at 32 minutes, these are not the items you want to be seeing coming out, and certainly not while your base is completely under siege. Ember's in deep behind enemy lines. Maybe looks to go. He gets hit by the Sunray. The Chrono gets dropped, but it doesn't catch out Maybe. It's a full HP Shao Eight that's getting worked on, but Afterlife melting to the crits, being driven back. The egg gets dropped, and Maybe's just going to work it down with auto attacks on the Ember. Can he finish this time?
Oh.
No, he's going to have to run away. LGD diving towards the well. They might have overextended a bit here. The Aegis will get popped. Shao Eight working on Kinar, trying to finish him off. They've got a fresh life on the Ember. Kinar sliced up and spit out. Maybe continues to not die. This Ember Spirit absolutely sensational. He gets another 16-0 and 16. He's got more kills than all of Empire combined, yet to die, and he's looking for more. Remnants forward,
Overkill.
swagging left, right, all over the place. Empire just can't withstand the punishment. Another kill. Give this man an ultra. He wants the rampage. Diving to the well. Will he get the cleave? The GGs come out. They don't want to die to the rampage, but they might give it up anyway. Maybe. And in the end, slight mercy. He'll settle for the ultra.
And they're gonna end the game on 14-37 as the score. And LGD 2-0 against Empire. Really dominant performance and just solid play from every single one of them.
Well, we saw Eternal Envy Spirit in this series earlier. Now,
Definitely.
Theban living on, but Empire going home, Waga. They just were outclassed by LGD.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say. They just stepped up and played good. And a lot of the Chinese players really said that before a tournament as well, that LGD are strong. You should not underestimate them. And here they are, proving it.
I will say for Empire, this is still a very young team. They haven't had all that much main stage experience, but they have shown a lot of promise. This game, they faltered a bit. It felt like in the draft, they weren't in their comfort zone. and they got outplayed on top of that, but I still see potential for this team moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. They have a lot of potential. It's just about finding players.
You look on the other side, LGD, they've got nothing but experience, poise under pressure, whether it's Xiaowei. Even at this point, maybe an aggressive, they're veterans. They have played and performed. Victory over Empire.
Thank you very much. Wagger and LD on the commentary that time round. Not just from LGD, but also from MMY and, of course, Maybe in particular.
Yeah, I learned something very valuable. There's no reason to ever pick Shadow Demon when you have an MMI IO. Nukes, you can counter team fight, he can just keep people alive. Like, he made one mistake the whole game, I think, by not saving it. He went on Lycan, he didn't feel like he had to relocate, and then he got chronoed. But that was the only time I felt like he made a mistake that game. He just kept all of his cores alive and allowed MMY, or I'm sorry,
just gave you Maybe's 30-minute net worth was 20,210 gold. It's 190 gold short of the all-time Ember record, which has stood since the middle of March 2014.
I mean, I don't know. How do you stop him? Like, every game that we see him play, he's just so good. Like, an unstoppable monster at this tournament.
Absolutely.
Like, even when they lose, he's outshining everybody.
Even though Scandal was getting a decent amount of CS, you could say, in the mid lane, it was just nowhere near enough. They got absolutely run over.
Game in.
Yeah, he's part of like almost every kill. That's absurd.
I mean, this game was a very slow roll, though. I mean,
Yes.
it looked quite over at a very early stage,
absolutely.
so they were, in a lot of ways, padding their stats. But I feel like the main issues were that Empire's laning stage was weird. They did off-lane Faces Void, they did safe lane Beastmaster, they got pressured pretty hard in the mid lane. It wasn't very easy for Scandal. It was kind of like a reverse of Game 1, except LGD's lanes were really successful. All the pressure they did, they got a lot out of it.
Yeah, the puck really suffered in that mid 0.87 on Scandal, an 11-14 puck against a level 25 Ember. Going to get a bit of a beasting in there.
The issue is really, if you have a safe lane Beastmaster, you just don't have enough DPS. We saw it in so many fights. They chronoed the Lycan. Without any cooldowns.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Here we can see it too. Like, they have to expend multiple ultimates to just kill a Bat Rider, MMY,
And then
beautiful relocate instantly as soon as the Chronosphere comes down, and that's all of Empire's.
Kills him one by one.
He's like, yep, I'm unkillable at this point. This is where it was still relatively close.
And now the setter.
That was their best
How does
fight,
that
actually.
hit him? That's actually absurd. That's
And it was countered by IO. If there wasn't relocate there, the Phoenix Egg would have landed. It's such a good combo to have Phoenix plus Faces Void, but the IO always saved the one guy that was out of position, and then their ultimates didn't get enough damage.
yeah, and here it's going to happen again.
Yep.
That one was so close.
Yeah.
I don't even think the tether had connected yet. It was, he just teleported, basically.
Yeah.
He knows his ranges.
Yeah. Getting used to the channel time versus as a Wisp versus Void and versus those type of heroes that can just kind of interrupt you is really important.
It's very important, yeah. Especially against Void, because if you don't do it, you will be chronoed yourself.
Yeah,
and the real capable
Game after game after game. If you pick Lycan and you have somebody on your team that has some setup, you just drain his mana, and then Void's a terrible carry or a terrible offlane hero because he can't.
Weren't able to get enough out of all of their ultimates. They like we were saying, they have to blow multiple ultimates to kill one or two heroes. And once those ults are down, like we were saying, LGD's team fight. It's not about their actual team fight. It's about prolonging the fights, making Empire use their cooldowns, and then just running them over.
I mean, in that fight, Ember Spirit will just outshine them completely, and they just couldn't win it anymore after they failed to deliver in the early game.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be the last time we see the puck here in Manila?
I hope so.
I doubt it, but I hope so.
Current win rate dropped to 16.7%.
I would love to know what the win rate is with.
Okay, that's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, he's only won 2 out of 12 games though, so I'd imagine it's still probably quite low.
Yeah, probably still.
But yeah, it was just, if anything, like to progress. It was really all up to the Void and the Beastmaster to do so much in this laning phase, and it's really not possible versus the heroes that LGD has. And even if you do make everything happen, how do you really break high ground versus LGD's team? They have a Bat Rider, they have an Ember Spirit, they have so many different functions.
We spoke about it in the past, how important it is to not be under pressure of having to go late game. And this game, Empire felt the pressure. They made so many tower dives that they usually don't make. Like, it was really uncalculated. It was really weird. Like, Empire usually doesn't play like. But
they weren't going to take any risks, were they?
Every show a team is like that.
Yeah, super disciplined.
Yeah, like, oh, we don't have ults, they're all up. We have like a 10k gold lead. But
they are looking like one of the best teams here now. It may just be because
it's kind of like what we've been harping on over and over and over. You know, talking to other teams throughout the group stages, we were hearing how much of a powerhouse this team is, and they're displaying it. Especially, I have to just keep pointing out maybe.
Yeah.
He has what? I don't even know what his kill ratio is right now.
Well, it was 13 before this. 17 in both games, right?
Right. Yeah. So maybe like 14,
so yeah,
14,
it's
15.
definitely going to be pushing up. I'm sure that it will be updated fairly shortly. We'll be able to tell you exactly what it is. But he's having an absolutely sensational series. And again, we've given him the MVP for this game because although MNY's had a fantastic game as well, who else do you give it to in this kind of situation?
Games in the entire series.
Okay, Kevin. Knoxville says, with Lifestealer, he's won 1 game of 3.
1 game of 3?
Yeah.
That is better than 18%.
Not by 15%.
Well against a lot of the mids as well. It's like Death Prophet, Dragon Knight. Like, Puck doesn't have that much damage, not enough to be able to beat those heroes single-handedly. And yeah, he's just not scaling as well in terms of a nuker.
And the series.
Hello there, your MVP of the last series, the man with the highest gold per minute average in all of the Manila Major. We've got Maybe and translator Jack. How's it going?
就是恭喜你是本场比赛经济最好的选手，恭喜你们战胜了帝国。
I know I just met you, and your GPM, it's crazy. So here's my question. How do you farm so well, Maybe?
就是他是以那首比较火的歌来问你，你的经济。
因为我其他4个队友比较厉害，所以我打。
So it's makes it much easier.
Way back CDEC, and tell me a little bit about his relationship now that he's back on your team.
那谈起的队友你是队友，那么现在你们2个又在一支战队上，你
现实和游戏之中都是非常好的伙伴。
We're really good friends in and out of the game.
All right, man. Now, you two, for some reasons, like to switch your roles around almost every game. You go from mid to carry. You
你们俩经常喜欢交换位置，比如说大哥和中单，你们会交换。那么就以我们俩之间来说，哪一个打中单打得更好？ I'm definitely the better mid, but he's a better carry.
Oh, all right. There you go. From the man himself. All right. stage. They 2-0'd you in the ESL Manila qualifier.
G2 交分时，他们打败了你们在 ESL Manila 预选对手是他们，你有没有报仇雪恨的态度？
有。
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah! What's going to happen in that next series? But for now, let's go check back in with Red Eye and the rest of our boys over on that panel.
Thank you very much, Sir Action Slacks, with the interview once more. And maybe the congratulations to LGD. We'll wrap things up now with all of you fine gentlemen as we discuss LGD's rise through this tournament. They're guaranteed.
I would definitely agree with that. Not too surprised coming out for maybe a couple of us, because like we've been saying, we had a little bit of inside information.
China rising.
China rising.
China rising. Shanghai was indeed results, but this looks pretty good right now with what's going on in the upper bracket and what's gone on in the lower.
I mean, they will have to kick each other out in the next round, and VG said they really hate playing against Chinese teams, and I feel a bit sorry for them that LGD is playing so well right now. Like, how do you beat them when you're already scared of them?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, isn't it?
Hypothetically, Newbie loses to Fnatic. Not so likely, but it could happen, which puts Newbie as the next opponent in that follow-up match, so they could just be knocked.
So
yeah,
I guess that's
respectable.
Yeah,
definitely
massive improvement.
Yeah, definitely huge improvement.
Okay, let's check in with the bracket and show you where we are right now. We'll update you on the lower bracket in particular because we've had 2 series in there. Through after a 2-1 victory against Digital Chaos, and you've just seen LGD coming through 2-0. They'll now face Vici Gaming Reborn in the lower. We're going to switch our attention next, though, as we head to the upper bracket. Nicely, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, it will be the upper bracket. We're down to just 4 teams in our upper bracket. Who goes through to guarantee a top 3 place?
Next matchup, MVP Phoenix versus OG.